Thanks for joining today, guys. We'll get started here real quickly. Typically, there's a fair amount of people that join, but I think today we'll be able to get in some of the good details here of some strategies as well as addition to some of the new features and updates that we've got coming out. Here we go. Got some more folks coming in. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Graham. Hey, guys.
Good to see you.
Thanks for joining. We got some exciting updates to share. Share my screen real quick. So the team's been working hard. We got a bunch of stuff coming out. The speed at which we're getting some of these updates out is increasing, which is fantastic. So the more updates are going to be coming soon on top of this, but we wanted to share three major ones that people have been asking about or mentioning. So I'll go over those real quickly. So we've got user permissions. So user permissions is going to be added shortly where you can control everything that a user will see depending on what you basically want them to see. We're going to start this out as user permissions where you can set this manually. And then as soon as we ensure that this is working properly, we'll then go and apply this to the account level. So that way you can then create different like permissions on the account level. So that gives you more control over how you want to sell this. If you want to, make different tiers and plans based off of functionality, you're going to be able to do that. And then on top of that, be able to give VAs different access, or if your clients have VAs, they can then give, specific access. Oh, I just want you to be able to interact with a bot or, not be able to see the knowledge base, stuff like that. Pretty simple feature, but this one is going to give a lot of control to admins, which is super cool. So that's user permissions. Next, we've got the custom sign up and login page. So this is going to be a really cool one to continue to optimize the customizability of your white label app. So there's going to be left and right hand sides, and you can upload an image, and then this will populate with your custom logo that you've uploaded, and then all of this will change based off of your information on the bottom. And you can change it. It can be different for the sign up page and for the login page. So you could create a graphic that has, whatever it may be. We're going to come up with some cool examples to showcase what some other people are going to do with this, which
And where are the settings to change that?
this will be in the agency settings. We'll do this is one of the comings. This feature will be in the next release. So once that's out, we'll have full documentation and tutorials on how you can update this. Hey, Jim.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. Just to catch you up real quick, we're showing up some new stuff. We've got user permission controls coming in soon, and just showing everybody the customized sign up and login page.
All right.
So those are going to be two awesome things. And then finally, we have streaming. So streaming is done, and this is going to give near instant responses. And here's a quick little example that looks like.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Smooth as silk. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, dude, this is a needed upgrade.
so it's very much like ChatGPT now in the sense that it will have it, it looks like this. It looks like ChatGPT. It might stall at some point in the response, but that initial first word and that initial first part of the response is going to be instant. So when we enable this, this is going to be taking over some of the other things that we've added in the past, and that will become super clear. I'm not going to go into the specifics of the details of that, but once you enable streaming, that will become the default mode for all responses within that chatbot. So it'll become as fast as possible. So super excited about that. That's going to be coming out very soon. We're just finalizing some testing on that to make sure functionality is working across the board, and that will be out
and one thing
soon.
and one thing I do want to mention is it works with all of our other functionality as well, which was actually quite difficult and not easy for us to develop because the responses are streamed, but yet at the same time we have to watch and wait for function calling whenever that's enabled. So that's why this took a little bit longer to develop, but this capability works better than any other platform out there, basically. So we can do function calling with streaming at the same time when necessary. And this is not function calling. We're probably going to be talking about a lot more over the next few months, but it certainly is the future of what would you say, Ross? Just LLMs in general. I mean, getting the LLM to decide when to take actions and do events.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're gonna go. We'll talk about more of this later on. But yeah, this is the future of AI and AI agents and and everything. So for everyone, for the several people who just joined, talking about the 3 major updates that we're going to be releasing soon. We've got user permission controls, customized login and sign up page, and then streaming for instant responses with your chatbot widget. So these are going to be coming. These will be coming with, some will be coming this week, some will be coming next week. But as our speed increases, we're going to have more and more updates like this every single week with more cool updates and features that a lot of people have been asking about, or we've been talking about in the Discord, or whatever it may be.
So
Yeah.
Ross,
And
we'll have to recreate the bots to get the streaming for the older bots, right?
no, you'll just have to turn it on. It should work fine with older bots. It'll just be a setting that you will turn on.
Nice.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So for example, like the feature right now where you're controlling the speed at which the response is coming in the appearance section, that would be disabled because now it's instantly being streamed. So it would be a setting in that section similarly to where you control the speed of the response. It would just be checkbox streaming is now enabled, and then those other options would be grayed out and disabled. Any other questions on any of those things? Awesome. So, I mean, Tim, do you want?
Yeah. One thing I do want to say, because we did mention it in the last meeting, but I just want to reiterate, we have been investing heavily in our dev team and the rest of our team as well. So, that's another reason why things looked like they temporarily slowed down while we were working on the complexity of streaming, but also scaling up our dev team. So certainly expect things to accelerate around here in the next few months, or actually immediately, I would say.
Yeah. And then speaking of, we brought in our new COO, Justin Kennedy. So he's going to be helping us with a lot of sales management and helping and run kind of the second side of these meetings to help everyone with sales strategy. He's a killer on the cold calls. But yeah, Justin.
Thanks, Ross. Yeah, great to meet everyone. Super excited for the potential we have here, and really excited that this kind of core group here is so in tune with what the future looks like. And yeah, a part of my job, we're obviously selling to agencies and selling to people who want to create agencies, but another part of my job is collecting real-time feedback. So if you guys have feedback, please feel free to share it with me, Justin at Stammer.ai. We don't want to wait until these meetings to make the product better. And if there's something we're hearing kind of consistently, I'd love to be just made aware of it. So we'll send that out in the Discord after this. But another thing I also want to focus on is your guys' business. Like, if you don't succeed, we don't succeed. Transparently, I think everyone knows that too. And so using these calls as a place for what's worked, what hasn't worked, there's enough market out there for all of us. And I think that's the great part. And so if we can all learn from each other, we can just make the platform better and grow together. So
we're going to be doing more of a sales kind of strategy and information share kind of on the back end of these calls. And we've been kind of pushing towards that over the last couple of weeks, but we want to make sure that everyone's getting the most value out of these meetings as possible, in addition to us being able to share the next updates and the next round of features that are coming down the pipeline. That being said, does anybody have any sales conversations that they had this last week? Sean, I know you mentioned that you had some action coming in.
I don't think I've had any sales call. Actually, I didn't have a sales call. I was doing a DM with a guy, just created a demo for him, and just enrolling him via DMs. So it was kind of a lower price situation, but I had to hop on a sales call. I didn't do any sales calls this week. Not sure what I was referring to. I've been crazy busy. I must have sent you a note about something. And I don't even remember what it was.
All good. Well, crazy busy is a good thing, hopefully.
Yeah, it is a good thing. It is a good thing. Yeah. Couldn't have done it without you guys. You're like one out of my 3-legged stool. So yeah, I could not have done it without you guys, really. Yeah. You guys are a real backbone of my program.
I had a strange anomaly where it booked for 2023 instead of 2024, which you are aware of, and apparently they're looking into it. Is there any idea why?
Already fixed. There's an update that was pushed. Was it yesterday for that?
Oh,
It was just a minor thing where in the basic scheduling prompt, the year was still 2023 and not 2024.
Right. Was it my mistake in the prompt?
No, that was just a layover from last year, basically. So
okay.
that is now pushed. That date is now, and you can see that. And that's why other people weren't having that problem is because they had just manually changed that. But now we
Oh,
have
right.
we have changed that across the board for everybody.
Oh,
So now when
okay.
you go and create a new bot, it now says that, and if you have an old bot, all you have to do is just change that 3 to a 4, and then that
Okay.
solves that problem.
And that's in the base prompt?
The base scheduling prompt. So if you go into the scheduling tab, it's on the very bottom right-hand side of that screen on the scheduling tab.
Right.
There'll be a little checkbox, and you checkbox enable that, and then you can see the scheduling prompt.
That makes sense. I figured it was something stupid. Probably done.
Well, and the one thing I do want to mention on that is, as always, that feature is in beta. Now it seems to be very reliable once you get it set up properly. But if you add anything to your prompt, while you have scheduling enabled, and if you've already gotten it set up, if you add something new to your prompt, make sure you test things. So make sure you go through the entire scheduling flow again and make sure it's still working, because this is an AI, and sometimes if you add something that's not confusing to you, to either of your base system prompts, it may actually confuse it. Or remember, of course, if you switch models, if you go from GPT-4 to GPT 3.5, scheduling doesn't work with 3.5, right? And also, if you simply switch models between 4 Turbo and then 4, some behavior may be different between those models. So always test these things after you make any changes to your base system prompt.
Yeah, and that being said, we're continuously evolving and testing ourselves. And over the weekend, I updated, and this is something that we'll be releasing shortly to everyone, but fully updated documentation for agency level people only. This is not customer facing to any of your customers, it's just for us. But the majority of this was focused on how we can specifically write really good base system prompts within the context of creating these AI agents that have functionality like being able to extract data from a conversation or book a meeting. And so this information we're going to share shortly, but we're working on creating more of kind of this templatized approach that will make it much easier for you guys to create templates and bots for your clients, and then that information can then translate over to them, and they can use that as they see fit. In addition to all the features, we're continuing to ramp up our support documentation, and we're going to add, Tim and I have been working on a ton of videos and tutorials lately as well. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely subscribe to that.
And Shay, I saw that, I think you're Shay. Are you newer to these calls?
Yeah, so this is my first call. I've just been playing around with Stammer the last couple of weeks from Australia, working in education. So I guess some great feedback. I developed an MVP and just put it out to some educators yesterday, and have already gotten some stellar reviews. So yeah, things are looking good.
That's awesome. And what's kind of the use case you're going for? What's the tool that you're trying to show them its functionality for?
Yeah, so I guess similar to a lot of countries at the moment, there's been a bit of an educator crisis. And so we're seeing an influx of unqualified and inexperienced educators. So I'm building a bit of a model to support educators on the floor with regulatory knowledge and kind of addressing policies just immediately. So especially like with medical emergencies and things like that, they can access information and get guidance quickly.
Very cool.
Hmm.
Awesome to hear.
Great use case.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining. We also have some cool features that will continue to support those use cases as well that we'll be sharing. So excited to help you make that use case fully functional.
Those are going to be great, because one thing I was looking at was the overwhelm of the user interface. So being able to remove a lot of those functions is going to help a lot of my non-technical customer base.
Are a lot of them just going to interact with the bot and not have to do any of the back ends?
Yeah, so a lot of it will be just direct communication with the bot and maybe a manager or two with the dashboard.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that'll be a great feature for that.
I'm ready.
The other thing I'll just mention in general, YouTube is quite a lead generation channel, if I do say so myself. I recently started my channel not too long ago, so it's relatively new in the grand scheme of things. But comparatively to some of the other things that we've talked about in the past with social media, YouTube is for forever with search engine optimization, SEO. So if you're not on YouTube, I would highly consider start making content on YouTube that's targeted towards these types of topics, AI chatbot, customer support, and things like that, about how you might be able to niche down or, provide support for that specific niche that you're working in, because more and more people are going to be searching for this over time, and YouTube will just continue to serve your videos over and over. I'm already starting to kind of see that. I mean, lightly, just, in the hundreds of views right now, which is almost nothing compared to some of these big YouTubers. But with hundreds of views, I'm getting some action. Meetings are being booked organically. And again, this is like with a YouTube channel, like pretty much a brand new YouTube channel. So I would recommend you guys check that out. Any other questions? Anything anybody wants to bring up? Otherwise, we can end this one a little bit early, I think.
So how will we be notified about the new releases?
Great question. We're going to push those in a email update to everyone. We'll push that in the Discord as well. And we'll be pushing the changelog blog post link, basically. So we have that in our roadmap, which you can access via the little rocket chip in the top right-hand corner of your dashboard in the agency interface. That will be able to show you all the latest releases and the information associated with all those releases. And then, yeah, email, video, Discord. We try to be, omnipresent, so to speak.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for joining, Via. We're just about to get finished up. Did you have any questions you want to bring up? Cool. Well, there will be a recording of this that'll be posted up on YouTube, so you can watch that recording. And alrighty. Well, thanks everyone for joining. We'll keep everyone posted with updates and stuff.
Thank you.
And let's have a great sales week.
Thanks, Ross.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Talk to you
Yeah.
later.